Hey guys, just wanted to share a little something with you. This is Harold, my friend at the camp for the last couple hours. And what I want to talk about is food procurement, particularly meat sources. Now I want to say first off, I am not going to eat Harold. First off, I don't need to. I'm not in a survival situation. I do have food, so I do not need to eat him. This is only for demonstration purposes. Second of all, this is a box turtle, and box turtles can be harmful because of their diet. They eat a lot of stuff that is poisonous to man, so therefore by ingesting their meat, it can cause you to become sick. But as you see, this is Harold and a little pen, and what I'm trying to demonstrate here is that living meat sources will not go bad. You know, obviously we know that when we take an animal and cook them up or cut up his meat, you know, we either have to smoke it, which takes time, preserve it somehow, which needs resources, or eat it on the spot, or else it can go bad. However, if you do come across a resource, you know, if you are in a survival situation, a self-reliant situation where you do need to rely on meat sources, when you come across one, if you're not hungry or you're not ready to eat, if you can keep it alive, it will not spoil. Now, if this were a land tortoise or any other species of edible turtle that I found, I have achieved just that by making this little pen, as I constructed just a little tiny little walkabout area for him. You know, now depending on the animals, depending on what kind of cage or whatnot you're going to have to keep them in, obviously, you know, a rabbit or something like that can burrow or dig, so you would have to build more of a cage for them. Other animals can gnaw and chew through wood, but this guy here, all I had to do is make sure that these sticks were deep enough in the ground that you know, he couldn't just bulldoze his way out of it. But this is just an example of how, you know, you can preserve meat sources and keep them readily available for you for the time that you need them. So hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to be letting Harold go here. I mean, he hasn't been much of a conversationalist. Fed him a few worms. He does like worms, but I think he's ready to go. Alright, so it's Wednesday, day, I forget, but got my debris shelter done, and just finished packing down, and had a couple good days of rain, so it really mattered it all down, but the last rain, it was pretty waterproof. And I just got this one little side wall here on the side, and it's open on the other end. Kind of let some air in, and good at trapping the heat when I have a good fire. It's good at blocking the wind. Most of the wind and rain comes from this direction, so got that wall there. And but it's a nice cozy shelter. Now, of course, you know, you've been watching these videos, you've seen me taking forever to make this. Now, this was ideally an emergency situation. I would have built this straight through until I got finished and completed, and it would only taken a few hours. It's actually taken me a few days for this one, but that's also because, you know, I had a numerous other side projects I was doing at the same time. Some of them more time restraining. So, but you know, I got it done, and just to show that it can be done, and try it out. I'm actually going to be tearing this down and putting up a different shelter now that I'm finished it. But another thing I've been working on over here, you can have it in the sun. You saw me collecting and processing that clay. Well, I have went and attempted my first ever work of pottery. Been rotating it throughout the day, keeping it in the sun. I'm in the woods, so every couple of minutes I have to come over and rotate it and move it to a sunny spot. But that was my first attempt ever at a bowl. And this here is just a little excess I had when I cleaned off the little spatula that I made, just a little bead or something I made out of clay. But it's my first attempt, and what I used for a bonding agent, I actually used a head of Phragmites, dried heads of Phragmites, cut up, ripped up, fluffed up. Some people use a cattail fluff. Some people use thistle fluff. I just used the ripped up dry heads of Phragmites, which are pretty fibrous, and it seemed to work pretty well to hold together. But right now we got this, like I said, we got this drying. It's still pasty, but letting it dry for a day in the sun and overnight. And if it's completely dry by tomorrow, I'm going to try firing it tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll keep you updated on that. Today I'm just working around the camp and cleaning up a little bit and working on those side projects. And I just got done making that bowl about an hour or two ago. But we'll I'll keep updating, and talk to you soon. Alright, while out on the scout yesterday of a new area, found a whole bunch of things. This right here, in pretty decent condition, was a squirrel skull with both its lower jaw bones and its teeth. Now these teeth, this one here is kind of split. This one's been out for a while, so you can see how bleached the bone is. But the teeth, this one here is split in half, but it's one char, which is pretty sharp, pretty hard. This one here is split down the middle. But then I found another, the lower jawbone with two full teeth intact, and one cool thing about finding something like this is these teeth, especially this one here that's completely intact with its point, are extremely hard and extremely soft. A squirrel's teeth are designed to break open and split open walnut and acorn shells, so they gotta be pretty tough and pretty durable, and they also chew wood. So this tooth here, it's real hard, it's not going to break, and it's got that really sharp, durable point, would make an excellent needle for sewing clothing and equipment and whatnot. So even when you see something like a skull, you know, everybody talks about bones and their uses. Well, even the skulls themselves, the teeth, have many uses. I'm definitely going to keep this in my primitive toolkit to use as a sewing needle whenever I need to repair something, because this indeed will puncture light fabric up to probably even leather. So it's an interesting little find. And even these long ones, like this one here, through the years it's split down the middle, so only half of it's there. But it's still pretty sharp, and that piece is pretty durable. It's pretty sharp. So interesting little finds that we find in nature. Nature Superstore, which is completely free. All it costs is time. Time to go out, stare at the ground, walk around. My buddy kind of makes a joke with me because I never notice anything from knee level up, but that's always because I'm always on the ground looking for stuff. But that's also why I go to the woods and I find bones almost every single time I go to the woods. But I'm always looking for them to use as tools, to use as little projects and whatnot. So, another skull I found yesterday, a little fox skull. You can see its canines. I wish it had all its teeth intact, but this skull is pretty old. You can see where, probably can't see it on the camera, but definitely see it where something was gnawing at it. Something ate it. Chewed its face all up. But, fox skull.